Welcome back, and today we're talking about Deca Dance episode 5. So, like always, let's just jump into it. Episode 5 of Deca Dance was a huge episode. I mean, they definitely pull a huge cliffhanger at the end, which I definitely want to talk about. But let's break the episode down and some of the important things that happen, right? Because we see Natsume tried to fight the Alpha Gadol, and while she did held her own, she's still a beginner. I mean, she did do some damage to it. She was able to outmaneuver it. Honestly, at first, I thought that Alpha was actually being controlled by like another player or one of those cyborgs because it knew to attack like the tanks and stuff like that. So that should definitely tell you that the company behind Deca Dence, they 100% know how to control the Gadol and stuff like that. So that I 100% believe they introduced the Gadol into the world of the humans on Earth, and like all the tankers, those are legit humans, and then the gears are people that go inside the tankers or the bodies of some tankers, and you know they're geared, but really they're being controlled by the cyborgs outside of the Deca Dance world. So yeah, it's a big I mean, twist that we're still kind of learning about every episode ever since episode 2. But yeah, the ending of this is definitely going to turn the anime to a whole new level, and I can't wait to see it. But overall, this episode was really awesome. The gore factor was huge. I mean, when Natsume found the Alpha along with her team and all the gears in there were like absolutely just destroyed, body parts all over the place, blood everywhere. And then once the Alpha dropped that gravity field, you saw it was raining blood. I mean, that scene was definitely brutal. Awesome scene. And we got to see, you know, Natsume's her skills, where she's at. So she's definitely I would say she's not S tier, but I would say at the very least A tier, maybe B tier. She's definitely very good for the amount of time that she's training. I mean, it does help that Kaburagi, the best player ever, and in this episode, we got to see why was training her, right? Kaburagi transferred his skills over to her, so it's going to be up to her, I'm guessing, after this episode to carry that mantle of like the best player, and hopefully she can live up to it. But now we got to see Kaburagi in action as well. We got to see why he's definitely the best player. I mean, that dude was able to take out the Alpha, and in doing so, changed the whole storyline. Now, that whole fight scene was beautifully done. We got to see Kaburagi break his limit and destroy the Alpha, and the animation, the movements, everything. Very well animated episode. This anime is definitely underrated when it comes to like the animation. A lot of people probably dropped it after episode 2, but when the anime gets hyped, they definitely kill it with the animation. It's absolutely great. I definitely love that fight. It was awesome. And we even got to see how strong Kaburagi is when he came to the other Gadol, the spawn, like the big huge Gadol that was supposed to be like the next level after the Alpha. And yeah, he was able to notice a weakness in it, and he was able to, you know, steal a weapon and go in and bring it down so the Deca Dence can punch it into another dimension. I love that punch. That punch is like a nuclear weapon. It's an awesome weapon. And I mean, it was crazy. It was overall great fights. It was a action-packed episode. Absolutely loved it. But then we have to talk about the ending, right? Because the last 3 or 4 minutes of the anime changed everything, okay? We got that flashback of Kaburagi telling Natsume that no matter how many times they think they're going into the last fight, like we did in this event where they were fighting the Alpha and then even the bigger Gadol, the fighting would never be done, right? Like the company would never let the Gadol be exterminated from Deca Dence or the world of Deca Dence. That's like the main attraction. That's how they make money or something along those lines. But yeah, they're never going to let the Gadol go away. And once we saw all those Gadol spawning and stuff like that, I mean, Natsume's emotions, her face, her shock into how, you know, Kaburagi was 100% correct. Like, she knew he was 100% correct at that point. There's something up with this world, and I'm guessing that Natsume at some point is going to figure it out, that this world is being controlled by somebody, and she's probably going to start asking questions. But yeah, I mean, that whole scene was beautifully done as well. Natsume and her face expression, I mean, you knew she 100% understood that, yeah, the fighting is never going to be over. And of course, the last little bit where we see either, I don't know if the person that came into the world was like the president, but it's that big block cyborg, whatever we're gonna call that dude, I forgot his name, but the one that essentially is running everything in Deca Dence. He actually came into like a body, like a gear, I'm guessing, and confronted Kaburagi, because what he did was definitely a big no-no. He changed the story. He killed both huge Gadols. They had to respawn everything. I mean, Kaburagi was in huge trouble, and hopefully he is not dead. They kind of hinted that he got hit with that beam and he's dead. Hopefully he isn't, because Kaburagi was definitely my favorite character. But if you think about the anime and where it needs to go, right? We definitely cannot have Kaburagi around. Kaburagi is a whole different league of powerful character. I mean, that dude in the world of Deca Dence, he's OP. Broken. So if Kaburagi was out of the picture, then that would definitely, you know, create that sense of danger, because now we don't have that huge character on our side that's willing to protect Natsume and stuff like that. And honestly, there's not that many animes around here that actually kill one of their main protagonists. So the fact that if Kaburagi is really dead, that would kind of be awesome. But honestly, I kind of wish it wasn't, because he is my favorite character in this anime. But I would accept it if he is dead, because now that's gonna bring the story. Natsume is going to have to step up to the plate and become the next top like player, and even topple the whole organization that's running Deca Dence. Because after what happened in this episode, I refuse to believe that some people or some of the tankers are not guessing. Like, something is not right, because we were supposed to kill this alpha, and then a bigger Gadol spawned. We killed the nest. Like, all the Gadols should be gone. So definitely somebody's gonna figure out that something is up, and I can't wait. Really, we're not even halfway through the anime. We got one more episode before we hit the halfway mark, and I am loving this anime. My only negative thing that I kind of, you know, don't really like is really those little cyborgs. I feel like the anime would have been a lot better if they just left that part out. But nonetheless, it's still great. I'm enjoying every single episode. And now, after the big events that happened in this episode, I cannot wait to see where this anime is going to go. They had a huge twist in episode 2, and now they added another huge twist in episode 5. We got, I believe, 7 more episodes. Going to get crazy. But yeah, overall, great episode. Let me remind you, we do have a Discord server now. I'm gonna put the link down in the description. You can come on in, talk about anime. But like always, let me know what you thought of this episode. Go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.